Welcome to the annual Tryzub Awards Gala. The short sand art compilation that you're viewing is a brief history of the Crimean Tatar people and their struggles, hopes, and aspirations. This art was created for Crimea for viewing at the 2021 Diplomatic Summit. Thank you to the organizers of that summit for allowing us to screen the edited version for our guests this evening. You may be wondering why we're focusing on Crimea this evening. Well, this year marks two somber milestones for the Tatar people of Crimea. It has been 80 years since the forcible displacement and subsequent genocide by famine under Stalin's rule. We also mark 10 years since the world sat by idle and watched Russia annex Crimea. I'd like to now call upon Boris Balan, the chair of the Shevchenko Foundation.
The Tryzub Awards are a unique event when we honor prominent Ukrainian Canadians for their contribution to our community, combining their professional work with a deep commitment to Ukraine and its culture. Lenna Koszarny, this evening's honoree, is a perfect example of this spirit, and we congratulate her on her successes and continuing inspiration to all Ukrainians and Canadians.
It's my honor and pleasure tonight to introduce you to this year's Leadership Award recipient, my very dear friend, Lenna Koszarny. In 1993, after Ukraine gained its independence, Lenna's grandmother suggested to her that she should go to Ukraine and see her birthplace, or her parents' birthplace in their homeland. So Lenna went to Ukraine, spent a bit of time there, and she immediately fell in love with the country, its people, and its culture. She came back to Canada, told her boss at Coopers and Lybrand that she really wanted to move to Ukraine. So her boss at Coopers arranged for her to work at a client who had a presence in Ukraine. And Lenna actually in 1993 moved to Ukraine. Over the years, Lenna has done an amazing job in Ukraine building what is today the largest private equity firm in Ukraine by a fair measure. I don't think anyone would even come close. And she's done an amazing job in building this firm really from scratch with her and her partners. It's very unusual to, this is an industry that's very male dominated. There's a lot of big egos, macho males who like to do hostile takeovers and God knows what. And for Lenna to be as successful as she has been really just speaks to her character. Lenna, we're all very proud of you and what you have done for Ukraine. We're very proud of what you've done for Canada, for our community here in Canada. And we'd like to call you up to receive your award. So thank you very much, Lenna.
This is really, for me, an honor of a lifetime. It is something that I never imagined when I moved to Ukraine at the age of 23. If you ask my parents, I was going for 2 years. And it's been 30. When I look at what's happening in Ukraine and living there for 30 years, you have to remember that the front lines today, this is our homeland. This is where our family came from. In addition, Mama's family, Podopryhora, came from Kropivnitsky, from Djibrivka, my grandmother from Krzysztofivka, but then also from Chasiv Yar, who everyone knows today, which is a small town that is being decimated, or Konstantinivka, or Dryzhkivka. These names aren't just names for me. These are where our family's from. Like many of you, I rejoiced in 1991. We never thought that Ukraine would be free. Maybe some of us did, but certainly we all rejoiced. It was a new day, it was a new era. I couldn't wait to go to Ukraine. When I finished my chartered accounting, my UFI exams, I had 3 weeks. And my grandmother had been asking, please take me to Ukraine. And we went. And that changed my life. 3 weeks from Donetsk to Kropivnitsky, Kyiv, Mirhorod, Lviv, crisscrossing the country. Who I fell in love with then was the Ukrainian people. You know, I found a mission statement that and I'm sure many people have done this, that I scrawled decades ago, and I want to share it with you. Decades ago, I wrote, "My mission is to bring prosperity and abundance to an independent Ukraine so that this glorious nation with its extraordinary people may assume its rightful place as a global leader. Ukraine will be a global leader. We will emerge victorious. And I know all of you know that to be true in your hearts. I really want to share with you why I believe Ukraine is so important, going beyond democracy, freedom, our existential right to exist. Ukraine is abundant. Ukraine is wealthy. I'm no David Letterman, and those that remember, he always had those like 10 facts, right? So I'm gonna share with you. I hope that there's a few facts maybe that you may not know about that opens, you know, your eyes towards something. But fact number 1. We all know that Ukraine remains a global leader in agriculture. Do you know that Ukraine had a record harvest in 2021, $28 billion of exports? Do you know how much was exported in the last 2 years? $22 and $24 billion. This is a country that feeds 400 million people. Ukraine is critical to the world for food security. Admiral Mike and Andre Pinera, you are my partners on knowing that Ukraine has a rare minerals treasure chest. How many people in the room know that Ukraine has 20 of the critical rare earth minerals? That we have 1/3 of Europe's lithium reserves that are needed for rechargeable batteries? $3.5 trillion to $12 trillion worth. It's not just that Putin wants our people or our territory. This is a heist, and he wants this as well, but we're not going to let him get it, are we, folks? I know Zenon Potichny knows the next numbers. Who knows that this year, Ukraine will achieve gas independence for the first time in 30 years? We are second in Europe after Norway in proven gas reserves. And in 2023, we drilled 150 new gas wells. This year, Ukraine will achieve self-sufficiency. And we all know that over all the years, Russia used gas as a weapon against Europe and Ukraine. Ukraine will never be in that position again. Ukraine's future is green energy. Ukraine hit a peak in terms of 16% of its energy consumption was renewables in July and August 2023. By 2050, the United Nations expects that 80% of Ukraine's energy consumption will come from renewables. But do you know that during the war, despite all of the projects that are in temporarily occupied territory or destroyed, Ukraine still brought on stream 660 megawatts of new renewables capacity, 230 megawatts of wind capacity, all private sector led. A question I get a lot, what about corruption? Ukraine is pursuing a corruption-free agenda. Few people know that finally the anti-corruption infrastructure that Roman Vashchuk, where are you, and others worked so hard became operational in 2022 and 23. In March 23, Ukraine was taken off the blacklist by GRECO, which is the Council of Europe's anti-corruption body. and rose 12 points in Transparency International in 2023. There's much work to be done, but we're headed in the right direction. Ukraine's retail sector is innovative. This is fact number 6. And e-commerce, 10 million Ukrainians shop online, a $50 billion industry. Despite the destruction, the number of retail shops surpassed what was there pre-invasion already in August 2023. Ukraine leads the world in digitalization. Everyone knows about DIA, the government services super app, but not everybody knows that it's now making its way through Europe. In other countries, even Honduras is implementing the DIA app. 20 million Ukrainians have it on their phones. Fact number 8, Ukraine is a tech powerhouse. Ukraine is a tech powerhouse. Can you imagine that Ukraine is top 5 globally in IT professionals? 350,000, growing by 15% a year. It's incredible. How many people know that Ukraine now is a military tech hub? Most of you know that. Outside this room, maybe not so many. But a year ago, we had 10 drone manufacturers. We have over 200. We have over 50 who are developing ammunition and other defense-related products. We also have Brave One, which I'm on the board of Ukrainian Startup Fund, 173 grants, and 1,000 defense tech teams working right now to turn around innovation within 5 weeks. That's the kind of asymmetrical warfare that is going to help us to win this fight. And number 10, something that's very near and dear to my heart. You know, George knows about this, Jim and others, about the lengths to which I was trying to get Xavier Niel, Bernard Arnault's son-in-law, to invest in telecom in Ukraine. Yes, I wanted to attract investment. 1.5 billion will be the project. But more than anything, communications is national security. It must be in the hands of Westerners. He is coming in and he is acquiring the Kojako of Ukraine, bringing it together with a mobile operator, and for the first time, we will have a Western strategic in the communications sector, which has seen $2 billion worth of damage and 1,200 cyber attacks. So there's my 10 facts, maybe a few of them, lots of nods, so I know that many of them you knew, but hopefully some of them are new, and spread the word. Ukraine is important. We all know it to be, but it's important because it's also economically important for the region, for the world. I just want to lastly thank Ukraine's armed forces. Thank you to our defenders. They give us the ability to live, to work, to raise our children. Thank you to the Ukrainian people. They have shown us the valor, the fierce dignity, their choice, their choosing, their trajectory, and we know that they will be victorious. So thank you so much. This is the honor of my lifetime. I love you all. Slava Ukraini!
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations to Lenna and to Raul and Global Medic for all that they do. Your leadership and continued support is a gift to Ukraine, and we wholeheartedly appreciate and support everything that you do, and we are so grateful for your efforts and your sacrifices, personally and professionally. So thank you very much for that. This collaboration with the Shevchenko Foundation has helped so many people and agencies support and heal Ukrainian people here and in Ukraine. And I am so proud of all the work that we've accomplished with the help of Shevchenko Foundation. The Ukrainian community and the community as a whole will not stop fighting and advocating for the Crimean Tatar peoples. We will not stop. fighting and advocating for their right to return. And we certainly will not stop fighting until Crimea is returned back into the borders of Ukraine.
I can hear the sound of violence long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway